Brandon, how do you think the podcast went?
I thought it could have been more intense. But
Yeah, no.
I think it's because Joel is very intelligent, where he uses stats, points instead of emotions. So.
But like I've been watching his videos, and he gets like a little emotional and a little fiery, and like I thought that maybe we might like disagree on the stuff, and they did this with me last time too. He becomes very like pragmatic. I don't know if it's just when he's like talking to me or.
I mean, for a young guy, he can handle his emotions well. That's one thing.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking we might like disagree a little more, but I mean we like each other, we get along, and there's respect there. But he's smart. He knows a lot about politics, and I disagree with him on a few things for sure. I think we're at a different place on that race conversation. But the healthcare thing, I told him, yeah, it's possible to win twice in a row, Ashtray. I told him, I'm like, dude, I'm falling asleep on this one. Like, I don't know really anything about healthcare. But what's going on, everybody? This beer tastes kind of weird. Whew. How you feeling, Brandon?
Pretty good.
You might have to, if no one's in here, you have to give me some questions.
Okay.
We don't have the whiteboard today, I guess. But that's okay. I think the whiteboard is something we do occasionally.
Yeah, we'll make it special. Don't make it like every time.
Because it's garbage. What's garbage? The whiteboard?
Who said the actor?
Ashtray. No, Hecker did say last time, though. He said last time he didn't like the whiteboard.
He could be saying garbage for the beer.
What up, Nico? Nico, you missed it. I just finished my podcast with Jola. The beer? Oh, Ashtray. There's no way that Blue Moon is trash. It's the best beer in the world. I didn't pregame much for this one because I was podcasting.
Yo, Video Meech. What does that mean?
I don't know. What's it say?
Video Meech.
I don't see that.
Oh, that's shit.
But, alright, who's going to win the beer money today? Who's got a question? I waved to Nico. You can always win the beer money, Brandon.
Okay. What is your favorite thing to do on Sunday?
My favorite thing to do on Sunday? Well, one of my weekend lazy hobbies has been taken away recently, which is printing shirts. I don't like to do nothing. Actually, I don't think I even told you this, but last weekend, I did nothing. I didn't do shit. And it was I did it on purpose because
what did you find to do?
I just like drank and watched TV.
Oh yeah.
And like had sex and shit and just like like nothing. And ate. And I did it on purpose. I was trying to like take a mental weekend break because I was like waiting to hear about this building. Everything's going great at work. I get stressed out when everything's going really well. Everything's going great at work. And I was just like didn't necessarily need to do anything, and I was waiting on this decision. And I was kind of trying to have like an aha moment, or just like I was seeing if I tried taking a weekend off and not focusing on work, how will I feel? What I learned is I felt terrible, and I just wanted to go back to work. So my perfect Sunday would be go to my office, get some shit done, and then going over printing shirts, and then putting a football game on while I'm printing, and I can kind of catch up on the fantasy scores. And then go back to my desk, handle some more stuff, clean up the office, have it be ready for the week, and basically just kind of be in like, kind of hangout mode, but kind of work mode, and just be thinking about the next week.
What are you in fantasy? Are you winning?
I'm 4-3. I had Tyler Lockett last week. He got 63 points. He had 15 catches, 200 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and I could not believe it. And I was losing big time going into Sunday night. I ended up winning. I'm 4-3, and I picked up Antonio Brown from free agents. I had to pay a lot of free agent budget for him, but I feel like football isn't as popular this year.
No.
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Why?
Political, I guess.
What's up, man? I'm Nico's cousin. Wanted to ask you, because I'm at this crossroad. What was it that made you leave the comfort of your first job? Nico's cousin. Meech. I'll call you Meech. It's Meech.
That's what he meant by Video Meech. I guess like go on live.
I'll video you, Meech, if you want to do it. That probably might be better because I gotta get some clarification of some things. If you want to call in, Meech, I can help you think it through. I love helping people with like crossroads in their lives. It's one of my favorite things because it's hard, but the thing that you want to understand is that you probably are interested in making a change because you're unfulfilled. And I'd be curious to know if it's about money, but most of the time people want to change their career because they thought they wanted to do something easy. But turns out people don't like to do things that are easy. People like to do things that are challenging, and they have to keep learning and building and having progress towards. And that's actually what makes the human soul happy, is having something to do that you can build towards. And if you don't have that, you're going to be unhappy and you're going to be confused. And that's where a lot of people are at the crossroads. Let me pull up my phone to see how this works. I think it hit something. But I'd be curious to know. You're happier than you were before you started working here, right, Brandon?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you weren't doing shit, right? Or
Well,
you were doing pest control.
Yeah, I was picking up dead rats and catching mice, spraying chemicals.
You feel more fulfilled at this job?
Yes.
I saw you had on your computer the name was Lowry Media or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take us some time. All right, he's calling in. Meech. I hit accept. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? How we doing?
What's your name?
Dimitri.
Dimitri. Okay, Nico's cousin. I've heard him talk about you before.
There's a good chance we probably met at like West.
I feel like we've met before.
Yeah, like without a doubt, probably met before.
Awesome.
But
Yeah. So what's going on, man?
I've been talking to Nico about this quite a bit actually recently. But like my field, very comfortable, not very lucrative, but like you were saying, it's like not as fulfilling.
What field is it?
Like, I work in campus recreation, so like college recreation. Pretty much like Westchester has their own
Yeah.
recreation.
And why'd you get that job originally?
Well, I mean, I did it in my undergrad. Then I pursued a degree in it, got my master's in it, and it's just kind of like the course of
You got your master's.
In campus recreation.
yeah, in sport leadership and basically like it's pretty much like a business administration degree.
Does the master's have any value anywhere else in that world that has this that at all?
It's like mostly around like collegiate athletics and stuff like that. So like I specialize in like facility operations. I pretty much can like run the shit out of a gym, out of a building, like whatever. Like I kind of understand how that works. I do a lot better on the like student development side and kind of.
What would be the dream job? What would be the dream job in that field with that educational criteria, like Alabama football or like North Carolina basketball, something like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a big Carolina basketball guy.
Really?
But, yeah, huge. But like even that's making like a jump like almost across. So like even recreation, like you're almost capped at like getting to your executive director's job, but like it takes a ton of longevity and like you almost need to be doing this for like until like I'm 50 almost. So
And the ceiling is probably a little low on like making money.
yeah, it's not great, and that's I think like kind of where I'm at. I've been like talking to my folks about this stuff, and I was like, do I leave and do I go to sales? Because like it's a constant goal. There's like a quota involved, and like you can smash that quota and get your commission, and like
Does that excite you?
yeah, and that's how I like kind of where I'm at right now.
Like, what do you want? What do you want your life to look like? Like, what do you want to like wake up every day and like think about?
So, and that's kind of like where I'm at, like why I'm like thinking about this more often, because I live in Arizona right now, so I'm in Arizona State, so it's like one of the like most beautiful places in the world. There's also a lot of money here,
A lot of
but like
A lot of hot girls there, right?
oh, beautiful. And I always joke, it's like I always say it's like shooting fish in a barrel. But you can go out on any given time, drive like 10-15 minutes from here, and like see like these massive houses, or like I got friends that do various different jobs or like finance or something like that, and they go golfing like 3 times a weekend. I'm like, yeah, I guess I can like play this weekend maybe, but it's always got to be on like a payday weekend. And
Right.
I see like myself in a life that I think I'm capable of. I just don't have right now, and like that's why I'm like,
Okay, so here, all right. So here's like one problem that I have when like kind of giving some advice on this is like I'm a pure like entrepreneur. Like I don't want to play golf 3 times because like I want to be like working, and that is what drives me like to be happy. But you you're a little bit like want to have that, but also you want to have the money to be able to go golfing 3 times and not have to worry about it, which is also nice. So there's a lot of people that have like a high-powered sales type 9-to-5 job where they make more money, and if their goal is actually to have the money to play golf, cool, they'll have that, but also they get the fulfillment from the job as well because they're like they're competitive, they're trying to hit the goal. You must be a little bit of competitive because you're in the sports world, you're in the rec world, like would you like going to an office and having like a scoreboard of like the top salesman and trying to like climb up it?
Right, and that's kind of like, so I actually said this to my boss the other day because like you hit a certain point in your semester where you're scheduled out, like you take everything you need to do, and then the rest of your job is like putting out fires. So it's like you're waiting for something to come up, and I'm like, I'm wasting so much time.
Yeah.
And like I'm doing nothing. Like it's 12, almost 1 o'clock here. I got one thing on my schedule the rest of the day. I got like nothing to do in between that.
And you're tuned into the stupidest show on the internet.
Yeah, basically that's exactly what it took me to. But,
And like you can't make more money that you can't make more money with anything that you do, and so there's that element that you're wasting time. It's like I could be doing more right now and making more, but then also like yeah, you're just like doing nothing and you're bored, and was there a point in time where you thought that this downtime was awesome?
Yeah, like when I first got here.
Yeah.
Like and then
How old are you?
obviously, what was that?
How old are you?
26.
Okay. So like at first you were like, this is sweet, I'm getting paid, I'm just chilling, shooting some hoops, some hot girls walking around. But that's actually a very normal age to be like, all right, I'm not being fulfilled.
Right.
So the thing that would suck for you is if you went and got a sales job, in a way would be like, do you still have student loans for that master's stuff?
No, so I was fortunate enough that like I was really good at what I did, so I got it completely paid for. So
Oh, hell yeah. So punt. So who cares? My now wife, she has a teacher's degree and she's still paying off some of her loans. She doesn't teach at all. 0% to do with her life. So like, but you would have like that. I feel like some people would have trouble with that. I got a punt because I put my effort into this industry. Now I'm moving to a different industry. But yeah, fuck that. Who cares? It's a sunk cost. Like if it's not making you happy, like, so you're not even concerned about that part.
No, it's like I got whatever I got left from like East Stroudsburg, which isn't a ton. I could probably pay it off for like a well-paying job.
Yeah. So sales, you like sales? Do you like the idea of it? It's competitive.
Yeah, I just like the idea. It's competitive. You can make money. They give you a base, and you have the opportunity to absolutely blow that shit out of the water and like be that guy.
So when you think about sales, there's like 2 things to think about. It's like what product are you going to sell, and then the other thing is like is it indoor or outdoor? Is it phone calls or is it like hitting the? And a lot of sales jobs start with like hitting the phone calls, hitting the cold leads. Like you get leads. Like here's a list of 15 people, and they don't know you're going to call, and you have to either call them or knock on their door. Like it's a grind to get into it, but and you don't have any sales experience, right?
Now, my whole bit with that is though that like I was always taught to be like a networker. I mean, I'm like Nico, man. I just go out, I can talk to anybody, put me in any situation, I'm gonna make it happen, and that's kind of my mentality, and that's how both of our dads are. It's kind of how we were raised.
So why aren't you gonna get a sales job tomorrow? Why aren't you get on the computer right now, search sales jobs in Arizona, and just fucking do it?
That's what I'm saying. It was like I was been so content with like the comfort, I guess, of a lot of this, and that's kind of like what's making it.
Fuck comfort, dude. Comfort's for fucking pussies, dude. Comfort is so boring. It's so lame. I mean, it's like the most typical, like one of like entrepreneur quotes or something, or success quotes is like, you are only living if you're on the edge of your comfort zone. Like that is the only place where life is like worth living. Like the most comfortable person in the world is literally on a pillow, on a blanket, on a cloud, doing absolutely nothing and living an unfulfilled life. Humans are biologically wired to need to go kill deer and feed their family. And like, if you're not getting that, you're not going to be fulfilled. Like you have to just, I feel like I feel like you know this. You just maybe like need to hear it. Like, fuck it. Quit. I mean, the timing element is you should maybe like do some interviews while you're still doing this, whatever. But I mean, what I did was I could just quit my job with zero safety net. And it actually felt great. It felt great because I was like, fuck, this is actually kind of fun, because if I don't make money, I'm gonna like be screwed. Like I'm gonna be in so much trouble. And that like little bit of like fire helped drive me to like start a company and start doing stuff. So you know you're gonna quit and you know you're gonna look for a sales job. Is that true?
Yeah, I've kind of already got one. Like one of my best friends who works in Philadelphia, he already kind of basically linked me, and now it's just like
For an interview or for a job?
for an interview. Just I mean,
When's the interview?
Haven't scheduled it yet.
Schedule that fucking interview for Monday. And then how can you leave? Can you the job you're at now, would you be able to make up some excuse to go to the interview?
Well, I mean, I basically last time I interviewed for anything, I mean, it was still in recreation. It was closer to home. I just basically took like a sick day.
Yeah. Just take a sick day. And at some point, you're going to have to say, fuck the job that you're at right now. And you can try to milk it a little bit. And I don't know, if payday's this day and if I work this day, I'll get this. Like, sure, figure that out. But within the next 8 working days, you are going to have to say, fuck this job. And you should start like, that's why it was actually kind of nice for me. And when I had my first job, I actually never made friends with anyone there, like subconsciously on purpose, because I think subconsciously I was going to quit. So you got to decide who's important to you there and how you want to tell them you're leaving. But like, those are the questions to be asking yourself, not if. It's like, all right, I'm just going to go. And guess what? It's not going to matter. The day after you quit this place, it won't matter anymore. Like, do you have any fear of leaving this place?
Not really. And I think besides like you said, like I've built relationships like with some of these people.
Sure.
That, like, I mean, even like my boss is like somewhat tied to like my family. Like, my sister married one of his best.
Dude, he'll
friends,
respect you. He'll respect you.
Yeah.
So I guess in that case, you might be in like the 2-week notice situation.
Yeah.
So you should give your 2-week notice on Monday. And it's literally, you already know you want to do it. You already have the decision made in your head. You already have interviews set up. So now it's just about one uncomfortable situation, which is giving a 2-week notice to a family friend or someone you like. All breakups are hard. All firings are hard. It's going to be like a little bit of an emotion, and then it's going to be over and you're going to feel great. So you just got to get through that one moment where you tell your boss that you're quitting and you're giving him 2 weeks. And once that moment's over, you're going to feel free. You're going to feel great. And then you're going to be able to start the next chapter of your life. So you just got to get through one more uncomfortable situation before you can start living a life that's fulfilled. And you're right there, dude. I didn't even give you anything. You already kind of have this mapped out in your head.
Yeah. I trust me, like when I tell you I've been talking to like everybody.
Stop talking.
In the situation.
Yeah, stop talking. I'll be honored if I'm the last guy you talk to before you fucking go tell your boss that I love you, I appreciate what you've done for me, but I'm out. I'm going to go get a sales job, and I'm going to make big bucks.
Yeah. So, truthfully, I'll probably talk to Nico still, but...
Fuck Nico. That guy's a little nerd.
Hey, man, he's the one that put me on to Think and Grow Rich. I just started listening to it.
No, it's Drink and Grow Rich, bro.
That too. Both of them.
All right. Oh, the actual book.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that book changed my life. Changed my
I
life.
started listening to it yesterday.
You better be careful. You might get a little too inspired and go nuts like me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's an incredible book.
Right.
All right, next time I talk to you, you're going to be a salesman.
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try to lock an interview.
Dimitri the salesman. It sounds right. It sounds good.
It's a Greek thing.
All right, dude. You the man.
Catch you, brother.
Later. Woo!
You think it's gonna do it?
Changing lives. It's like funny. I think he's gonna do it. It's funny. We always say about like Gary Vee. Like sometimes it's just nice to hopefully help someone. What was your first job, Sean? I worked at a grocery store, and then it's just like the easiest job to get. They just like hire anyone. But my first job at a college, it was actually pretty cool. It was a sales phone call job. Nico said that was awesome. Good. It was a sales phone call job, and it was cool. The only reason that it had appeal was because it was sports books. So like you would get assigned like the Eagles, and then you would have to call companies and try to sell ads into like the Eagles program. And then you would get like, but I mean, ultimately it's just selling ads into a program. But they had to appeal to like young people like me because it was like, oh, this week you're going to get Villanova basketball. But it was all across the country. This week you're going to get the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Like it was like whatever project you're working on. It was kind of cool. And yeah, fuck that job. I quit.
Fuck that job.
And yeah, like Dimitri in that situation, he already knew what he wanted. And a lot of the times it's just about those like steps. Like one, here's a piece of Drink and Grow Rich advice. It's just a lot of times when you look ahead a little bit, there's going to be an uncomfortable situation that you know is going to be coming, and it's whether it's you have to fire someone, break up with someone, or like you're going to an awkward wedding or you have to go to this awkward party. There's going to be a situation coming up that is going to maybe give you stress or anxiety because it's going to be annoying and it's going to be over. After it ends, it's over, and then it's over. Like just think about it being over, and then you're good. And then you can just imagine being in that mindset where it's over, and then that knowing if you can put yourself into that mindset of, oh, it's done, then you know you're eventually going to feel like that, and it makes it easier to get through it. Like if you have fear, go through it. Just go through it. It's going to be over. It's going to be over. And like, I think that's maybe what Dimitri needed to hear was just like, yeah, you got one more uncomfortable situation. You just got to get through it. It's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, but then it's going to be over. And that can be applied to a lot of things about facing fear in life, which is very important. How hard is it for you to separate your personal and business emotions and feelings when making a business decision? It's not hard at all. Business, bitch. I mean, Shelby's this guy I fired recently, like he worked for me for 7 months. He texted me on my wedding day. He said, congratulations. Like, I just fired him because it was the right business decision. Like, so I didn't care. Yeah, it was when I fired operations manager, it was hard. I did not want to do it. I liked the guy. There's some good traits. It was uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it, but I did it because it was the best business decision. And once you decide it's the best business decision, then you know you have to do it, and then you get into the mindset that Dimitri was just in, that I'm talking about, okay, I just got to get through it. And here's the other thing about decision making. There's absolutely 0 point to ever look back and regret a decision that you made in the past. What's the point? What's the point? You made the decision, you got to make the best move that you could, and then you're very decisive about it. No more. There's a time for withering and wobbling and thinking and considering. Take that time, but then once you decide the thing, and then don't change your mind. Don't change your mind. Just go forward on that path of life. A lot of people get stuck. There's paths in life. Life is just literally a whole journey of constant small decisions. I decided to go to Subway instead of Burger King, and I went to Subway and I got a car accident, and then that made me late to this, which made me, like, life is just a constant decision making every second. We all just final result of all the decisions that we've made in our past, and you have to just make those decisions confidently and smartly, but more importantly than smartly is confidently.
Did you fire him before or after your wedding?
After.
Okay.
And then, but when it comes to like a personal thing, like working with my wife, I'm getting more used to saying that. It still sounds weird. I still don't like it that much. I feel like it's not cool. I want to be like my girl, my chick. But anyway, like, yeah, like, I mean, I can't, she's amazing, helps run the company, but like, I wish she did a couple little things better, and like, that's like, I always say, but what I do is I just say right to her face, I wish you would do this better, and I wish you would do this better, but you're also incredible, and you do a lot of great things, and I guess I can't get you in trouble because, but that's kind of like, actually, that's also, like a wife is a relationship on paper. Want to know what else is a relationship on paper? Is if two people own a business together, or three people, like, legally, two people owning a business together sounds like weird to me. Like, a lot of people do it. Most companies have like a couple owners, and I mean, that is talk about like a nagging wife for like a marriage. Like, imagine owning a business with three guys, and you each own 33%. And one guy sleeps in one day, and the other two you are there. you're like, this guy isn't putting the work into our relationship. Like, it's literally, owning a business together with someone is literally the exact same thing as a marriage. Except you don't fuck. Unless you do. Like me, that's what I do. Actually, I own 100% of the business and Shelby doesn't own shit.
How would she own it?
I mean, we could, on paper, we could both own 50%. We both own 50% of our house. We both own 50% of our car. But, I don't know, if we ever got divorced, I would, like, legally own the business. But also, without her, the business wouldn't be shit, so. She kind of got me there. What up, Zach R8? Ashtray, you might be the winner again. I mean, or Dimitri. Maybe Dimitri or Ashtray. Brandon's too busy snacking over here, even though he needs to lose, like, up to 10 pounds. Yeah. You gotta take in checkpoints. You gotta get to 415. And you guaranteed it.
Yeah.
If you guaranteed it and don't get there, that's offensive. That's offensive to everyone watching.
I failed myself.
No, that would be more than failing yourself. That would be failing me, everyone who watched. You guaranteed it. A guarantee?
That's like written it. That's a man's word.
Exactly. So you lose all credibility as a human being if you're not 415 on that date. And that is the pressure that I'm providing you on purpose because that's the only thing I can do. And I got you a health coach so that he can handle the logistics of the health. I'm handling the logistics of putting the pressure on you so you feel a burden about it. With ultimately the end result being you being happier and healthier, which is why I'm ultimately a good guy. Who would come up with the designs if she left? I'll hire someone else, yo. That thought does run through my mind every once in a while. Like, it sounds morbid, but it's not. It's just a thought experiment. Like, if Shelby died. I said it sounds morbid, but it's not. Like, people could die. Like, what would I do? What would I do if Shelby died? Like, I don't know. I think I could try to continue to run the company. I really do.
See you try to be a graphic designer.
I would obviously, like, hire it out. And I think I would keep the company if that happened. And me and Shelby joked once, like, well, and I said that, and she's like, well, what if you died? And I was like, well, you're screwed. If I die, the company, I don't think could live on. I wonder if I die, if Shelby would try to keep running the company. I don't think she could. And I don't mean that negatively. I just mean that very practically. Like, just I know the things that I do, the payroll, the logistics, the ads. I would love to have some type of glass ball and like see what would happen in both situations. Like that would be. Someone asked me if I had a superpower, what would it be? And I said it would be the ability to know, like, what would happen if this decision was made instead of this one. And I was just talking about you can never ever look back and regret a decision, and you can't. But if you. I guess that wouldn't be my one superpower. It would be interesting to see that. It would be interesting to see. Like, what if you went to this college or this college? And how different would your life be? So interesting to think about. The Kogan Conversation is about having conversations with a glass of whiskey. Any interest in coming on and discussing your show, business, savvy, etc.? Fuck yeah. Last time someone came on Drink and Grow Rich and asked me to be on their podcast, it was Adam Lowry from the Cognitive Rampage, and I went on his podcast. We talked for an hour and a half and did an amazing podcast. So the Kogan Conversation, give me a time, give me a date, I'm there. And Brandon did a pre-interview for me today for this other podcast I was going on. Did you get my text during that?
Yeah, I didn't get.
It wasn't in time. Yeah. Like, I have one request for anyone who has me on their podcast. It is to put me on the spot and ask me uncomfortably challenging questions. Like me and Joel had a great podcast today, but like, and I don't know, I don't want there to be.
But he didn't ask you questions though.
That's why I tried to get him to at the end. I said, like, what do you think about me, like in Trump just for his personality? Like, doesn't that piss you off? Yeah. I kind of wanted him to. He was so civil, and I mean, I think I'm naturally civil, but I like to be put on the spot, and I'm open to embarrassing myself for the sake of a good conversation or entertainment, or Also, besides for the entertainment element, I just love to be challenged. I want my thoughts to be challenged at all times by as many people as possible, because that is what creates a diamond. Friction. Like I do I do podcasts every week. I do the show every week. Like I have my thoughts and I kind of like roll with them. Like I need like some new thoughts. I need like new, and the only way to get new thoughts is to like get off my tracks and like get into like have different things happen to me or like look at things from different angles. Like I want to have new perspectives and new thoughts. And the way to do that is to be challenged and have realizations. And I think I adjust my opinions and thoughts like a lot more than the average person. But I want to continue to do that, and I need people to challenge me. And I don't care. I won't be mad if anybody ever embarrasses me. Like, that's fine. I don't mind at all. I like being embarrassed. Did you hire a web developer, or do you do that yourself as well? Interesting question. My website uses Shopify, and Shopify kind of, I think of the best comparison to a website is a house. A house and a website are the same exact thing. So a website, you can buy one you can build one from scratch. Imagine you building your house from scratch. You go buy the wood, the nails, the land, you build every single thing from scratch. That would be insane these days because no one would do that. You'd buy it from a builder. So a builder is someone who builds the house in the community, then you buy it from them. Maybe you tell them you want this wall here, this door. You can maybe give them some opinions, but the professionals are going to build the house. That's the same thing with a website. And Shopify is the builder. It's already built for you. It's set up. So you can go in though and you can decorate it. You can decorate it however you want it to look. But then, so one thing we have on our website is if you put your monogram in, it's a preview. It's like you get a preview of it, and then that preview gets sent right to the server for production. We basically added our own jacuzzi in the house that we bought from the builder, and we went to a different company to do that. And if you want that jacuzzi fixed, say you buy a house and you get a jacuzzi installed, and the jacuzzi's having problems. Don't you want to go back to the same person who built the jacuzzi originally? And if they're out of business and you got to go find someone else to help you, that person's going to be like, all right, what's the deal with this jacuzzi? It's anything with a website is just like a house. If you want to do any custom coding or any custom development and you get someone to help you, that is like bringing in a handyman or a repairman. And if you use the same repairman over and over, then they kind of know your house. They can help figure it out. So you want to keep relationships with those handymen and those repairmen. And those would be like the web developers and the things they do things that you can't. If I want to add a TV to my house, I can probably buy the TV and hang it up. But if I want to add something that is out of my league, then I need to hire someone. So I use Shopify. Shopify is the house that is already built. We decorate it with images, pictures, products. And then when we add custom development to it, we bring in an expert, a handyman, a repairman. And we want to keep using that same repairman because they're the one that built it and they're the ones that are going to know how to fix it. And that is the analogy between websites and houses. They're exactly the same. And sometimes if you get a hole in your ceiling, you got to get that guy in right away. And if you ever have a problem with your code on your website or something, you got to bring someone, nothing else in the world matters besides getting that one thing fixed.
Wait, you have a jacuzzi at your house?
Brandon is not listening at all.
I was snacking loud.
When someone does their initials on your site, is it streamlined and ready for production, or do you have to make it compatible with your machines? These are very intricate questions, and in the past 2 years, our sales have grown huge, but there's one specific thing that I'm the most proud of ever. It's one day I sat at my desk and I said, this is ridiculous. We are selling thousands of items, and every time someone buys a monogram, I have an employee that's making it by hand. I have no idea how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to automate so that when someone buys something on the website, it instantly is ready for production. And it was impossible in my mind. I had no idea how I was going to do it. I didn't know if it was possible. A year and a half later, it took a year and a half, that became a reality. And I'm very proud of that because something that only existed in my brain, made it a reality. It took me a year and a half. But yes, every product is ready for production. Every production file is sent right to a server, right to the computers, ready to print, ready to embroider. And I'm not going to go into all the details of how it works, but there's this company, Veristitch. I'm very proud of how I set that up. Rachel and Shelby joined. Rachel and Shelby. I had a long conversation with Lauren Miller today, who could possibly be one of our new employees. And I'll fill you guys in. Let me know if you have any questions about her. But next time we have our meeting, which I thought was Tuesday at 1:30, but I know that we have this shoot. She's going to zoom in and be part of the meeting and meet you guys. We're going to go from there. So let me know if you guys have any questions about her. Can't wait to hear about it. Well, I can tell you about it now if you have any questions. LOL a lot. So let's ask one.
I got one.
Yay, Lauren. But Brandon's question, is she a spy, is honestly a reasonable question. But the answer to that question is, there is a chance she's a spy. Seriously. But this is not the fucking Cold War. Like, I could tell Marley Lily literally everything we do, and it doesn't mean that much. Like, she could be a spy. But she got laid off from Marley Lily.
I got a question.
Yeah.
I heard over some of this stuff. What is her husband?
Her husband still works there.
But like, what's his job?
I think he's pretty sure, based upon what Shelby said, he's a photographer, and he is like, they laid her off, they didn't lay him off. And here's something interesting, Shelby and Rachel. She has an 18-month no-compete contract signed, which is a legal problem. So that's something.
Maybe she's trying to get y'all in trouble. She's like...
Yeah, like, I said, hey, I don't mind breaking the rules, but like,
she has a lawyer behind her.
Damn. Like, so that is, and that's why she wants to keep it discreet, actually. Like, so, and yes, Shelby, she does understand how we do things. Are we doing what Marley Lily did years ago? In a way, I mean, they never had DTG, so it's not directly comparable. Are they not getting as many products made overseas? Marley Lily gets all their products made from overseas. Essentially all of them. Nico said, dude, whoa! United Monograms for life, baby. Nico maybe might want to be part of the team coming towards the end of the year.
So he said stop talking about it.
Whatever, bro. Whatever.
I'll edit it out on the YouTube version.
Oh, I got something to talk about. Kind of sounds like a liability on your end, too. You know it exists and you hired. Listen, Nico, if you're going to work for me, you go from your big corporations, come to this little world. We don't give a fuck about rules. I don't know. Yeah, I got to look into it. I don't know. It's interesting. We had this girl contact us who worked for one of our biggest competitors, which is an amazing company. She said she likes us. She wants to work for us. And she is very knowledgeable about this stuff. And I had a Zoom call with her today. So that's the situation. And yes, she has a not-complete clause, which could be a problem. So, I don't know. Whatever. Fuck the rules. So, changing the topic. Did anyone see what Kanye got Kim Kardashian for a birthday present?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about rules unless it's monetary as fuck. Yeah, whatever. When you're small, you can do a lot of stuff under the radar. Anyone know? Do you know?
Yeah, the hologram for her
Dude,
dad.
How fucking crazy is that?
You know he has that massive screen TV, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
He posted before when he was watching the finals. It was like him that small, and the screen's like he has a massive screen TV, probably like 100 feet high.
You're talking about Kanye?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the element of the fact that you can be a hologram after you die. Like, he was saying things in his voice from the modern world. He said, Kim, I'm very proud of who you've become, and I'm very proud that you're following in my footsteps to be a lawyer. I don't think there's a recording of him saying those exact words, meaning that I don't know how they did it, but here's one thing I do know. That's amazing. I want to live on forever after I die and just be hanging out. Like, you'll come home from, like, my great-grandkid will come home from school, and I'll just be kicking it, like, on the couch. Like, hey, how's school, buddy? What'd you learn about? You learn about 2020? Like, and I'll just, like, be there, right? That is the part that's cool about it. But the more accurate, like, you need a lot of data. You need a lot of voice recordings. You need a lot of video recordings So if you can take all that data and then put it into some type of crazy computer, it'll pop out a more accurate version. Like, my dad passed away. If I tried to make a hologram of him, I think it might be difficult because we have pictures, we have a few videos on VCR of him, but the more you have, the more you can put into the programming. So I got a podcast, I got Live at Lunch, I got Dream Grow Rich, I got my Twitter. There should be many, many recordings and videos of me. So like if you ever want to make me in the future as a hologram, there should be enough data to do it. And Rachel Doblin, if you're still in here, you don't post on Instagram enough. So you're not gonna have enough, you're not gonna be able to live forever as a hologram. Dream Grow Rich lives on forever, that's right. The only reason I'm doing this, any of this stuff, is so that I can be a hologram in the future that is very, very accurately me. That's the cool part. The more data they have, the more voice they have of you, the more opinions they have of you, the more movements they have of you, hands, fingers, eyes, ears, moving. Like, they can take all that, put it into an algorithm, and pop out the perfect you. That is so cool. And I don't know exactly how it'll work. Like, what would be your opinion on a current event at that point? I don't know. But if they could program in your old opinions and then try to simulate through that programming what your opinion would be on this topic, then you can give opinions. Basically, you live forever. You live forever. Rachel said, I will not. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean, but you will not be able to have a good hologram, right? George Go Tempe. I stink? That's the beauty of digital shit. You can't smell me. Kids, please let me tell you a story about me and my pretzels. Molly, come in and remind me of that pretzel stuff that won her. You won. Molly won. Molly won Dream Grow Rich 2 weeks ago because, yeah. I don't know if I want to tell them those stories because I don't want them to cry. Just thinking about it now. But thank you for showing me the pretzel emoji and helping me how to draw pretzels. We won't get into that. If you go back to the Dream Grow Rich from a couple weeks ago, I told the saddest story of how I moved from middle school to middle school and I had no friends and sat 3 years apart from each other in 2 different states on a toilet with a pretzel on my lap crying. Dude.
What do you put on your pretzel?
Nothing. Not mustard. I hate mustard. If anything, I'll dip it in some cheese.
Well, yeah.
Brandon, don't ask food questions.
Beer cheese.
I don't know. I can't talk about food with you. As someone obligated to help you lose weight.
Yeah.
We need to not have food be part of our world. Get those fucking Chex Mix out of here. What did you ever do with that Chipotle yesterday? You ordered it and they brought you the wrong thing, right?
Yeah.
Did you end up eating it?
Yeah.
That was God telling you. Brandon, you don't need Chipotle right now. You're 430 pounds, you don't need Chipotle.
426.
Oh, that's right. I don't like your attitude today, Sean.
What the fuck is this, dude?
I don't like your attitude today, Tempe. Beer cheese is always the move. Dimitri's still in here. Big Meech. The Dead Deal 2004 requested to be in your live video. Should I do it?
Yeah.
I always taking a chance when I'm doing this.
I mean, if you don't see a murder, then you're not gonna go to the...
See that guy who committed suicide on TikTok?
No, I did not. I don't.
It was like 3 months. It was like 3 months ago or something.
You were able to, you scrolled and saw it?
No, like it was in the news.
Oh.
I accepted you, whoever just called me in. But living after dying is probably the most important thing in the world. That's why I have this. So this is my podcast set over here. I'm always changing it up. Oh wait, where's that skull? Did anyone ever see the movie Coco?
Yeah.
Dude, that movie is amazing. I got this skull for 2 reasons. Grateful Dead, my dad loved the Grateful Dead in honor of my dad. Dude, Coco, the movie's alright, but the message is magical. Like, what do you think I'm talking about?
Living after you're dead.
Like, explain it to me.
That your memories are passed through your family members, and if you tell those stories, that's what keeps your memory alive.
Yeah, but how does your memory die?
When they stop talking about you.
Yeah. That's the key to the movie. The key to the movie is once everyone that's still alive forgets you, you can't pass into that world anymore. And that's so true, man. I was talking about that with Matt Sapala. I was saying, like, legacy, George Washington, Jesus, all these guys will have a forever legacy. Most people can't have a legacy that long as George Washington or Jesus or someone who will be around forever. Like Gandhi or who was that Mongolian dude with that killed everyone? Genghis Khan. Like those guys will always be remembered throughout all of history, and that's the top-notch people in the world as far as this game of being remembered after you die. But there's other people who won't live thousands and thousands of years, but they might live hundreds of years because maybe they started a business and they passed it down because it was a good enough business. Maybe you become a politician and you have a bridge named after you. Eventually that bridge is going to get knocked down or renamed, but the game is how long can you be remembered after you die? And I feel like that's the game.
Someone said play that Pop Smoke.
What's that mean? Man, I'm Mexican is big in our culture to remember the past family. Dude, I love that. I love that because I want to be remembered. And the thing is, like, your family is only going to take you so far in this game. In this game that I'm talking about, this amazing game. The game is only going to, your family is going to take you maybe one generation for sure. Maybe 2 generations. But if it's just family that you're depending on to keep your legacy around for a long time, there's going to be so many family members that before generations, they're not going to, eventually they're going to have to take pictures off of the family tree because it's just too many people. So there's one level of it and it's being remembered throughout your family. Now, if you're like the most popular guy in your family, maybe you make it a generation longer. But there's a limits to being remembered in your family only. That's why I feel like subconsciously one of the reasons I started a business or a podcast to be remembered after I die outside of the realm of just your family. Because that can extend your living after you're dead a little bit longer. Are y'all gonna play some Pop Smoke or not?
I'm gonna try that.
I don't know, I like it. My favorite song right now that's out is probably Tyler Hero. You guys like that song? You know,
Oh, with
Jack Harlow.
Harlow, yeah, I saw it.
And Drake's coming out with a new album.
Ariana Grande came out with this album today.
Yeah, I saw it. It's pretty good. Did anyone see Drake's new album promotion? Did you see it? Do you like Drake?
Yeah, I love Drake.
Did you see the album promotion? It's like a 1-minute video and it's sweet because it's like a virtual like little commercial and it's a tour through like all his old album covers, which is kind of a nostalgic type thing where it's like, is it last album? But it's one of the most classic rapper moves promotionally to say, I'm retiring, this is my last album. It's never their last album. They're never retiring.
You saw it on his Twitter?
Who's the oldest rapper? Like, rap is something weird to do when you're old. Like, Jay-Z doesn't put out as much music anymore. Because he's kind of like, now Jay-Z's more of like a suave businessman. And like, he doesn't have as much fire on like the mic because like, he used the field to grow as a human. So my question is like, who's Snoop Dogg's pretty old.
Yeah.
Like the first rappers were like the 80s, like Tupac, Biggie, Run DMC, Snoop Dogg, like Tupac and Biggie are dead. So like, but
Vanilla Ice.
And Vanilla Ice. He's in Adam Sandler movies now. R.I.P. The Woo. I don't know who The Woo is, but it's funny because the oldest rapper ever that exists right now is like probably 53. But in 20 years, they're going to be 73. So like, will Snoop Dogg still be putting out music when he's 73? Because there's a difference between a Mick Jagger or a Dave Matthews or a Willie Nelson who grew up as music stars, and even a Paul McCartney. They can still play the guitar sitting on a chair when they're older. But like, how funny will it be for like an 80-year-old guy to like rap?
Public Enemy.
I haven't answered your question. Is your question, are we going to pay Pop Smoke or not? No, we're not. Unless you really want us to. Will you be running your business when you're 73? Fuck yeah, dude. Okay, so here's my promise to myself. When I'm 73, I'm gonna be the exact same person as I am now, as far as I hope I'm wiser, I hope I'm more intelligent, I will go through many shifts and opinions, but I'm gonna have the same general persona. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna be going to the gym, I'm gonna be like checking YouTube or Twitter or whatever the new social media is, I'm gonna be running business. I mean, I'm gonna have the same energy. All right, play Pop Smoke for this guy. I don't even know what Pop Smoke is. Is Pop Smoke an artist or a song?
Yeah, artist. I heard.
Like, I know about rap like pretty good, and I don't know. All right, we'll play Pop Smoke. Does this guy like get paid for every fucking view or something like that? But
This came out like today.
the guy had my podcast today, Jola. Can you guys hear me? Play it, turn it down a little bit, but keep it on. The guy head of my podcast today, Jola. Politics guy, he's like a progressive YouTube channel. We talked about politics and stuff. My favorite thing about him is he also has Jola Music YouTube channel, and he raps. He fucking raps, and he puts it out there. He made a music video. Like, dude, that takes so much balls, don't you think? Like, I love rapping. I wrote a song before. Like, I want, like,
Really?
what?
Pop Smoke died. I guess I just use his music still.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know who Pop Smoke is. But I respect anyone who has the balls to shift industries. Like, you think, like, I mean, Kanye, maybe for an example, Kanye will be like, artist, then he goes into fashion. Now he's maybe trying to go into politics. Like, people who you don't expect to do something and then they do it, I fucking love that. I mean, I'm trying to think of more examples. I mean, Jamie Foxx is an entertainer. He did some songs and he did movies. That's not that different. Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders. I'm trying to think of somebody who is well known in what they do, and then they go to a completely different career. Like, that takes so much balls to do that, and I respect the fuck out of people who do that. I guess Dimitri's gonna be going from a Parks and Rec dude to being a badass fucking salesman driving a Lamborghini around, getting all the chicks, playing golf 3 days a week. Trump.
I was gonna say Rock. The Rock.
Trump obviously would be a great example of that. He was in the private field and then he went into politics. And he, obviously, if you're successful in that second thing that you do, I respect you even more. But I'm not even saying you have to be successful for me to respect you. Like, it just takes fucking balls to do that, to make that shift that no one expects, that everyone has you in this one, everyone has you like in here, and then all of a sudden you're over here. That's cool. Even if you're not successful at it, even if it's a huge dud, you'll still have my respect. And if you're successful in it, oh, that's even better. The Rock somewhat shifted everything about him. Not really, man. He's been an actor forever, and now he's still an actor. What did he do?
Talking about like wrestling when he was like.
Oh fuck, dude! I forgot about that. Oh my god, I forgot that he was.
That's all he was.
I forgot that he was the wrestler. Of course.
He's like I think he's like the biggest actor.
Of course. And like, they're still in the entertainment realm. Like, it's not the ballsiest one of all time, but oh my god, he became so prevalent in acting that I forgot that he was the WrestleMania, the WWF guy. What would be your complete opposite, and what do you think you could be successful at? Dude, I mean, rapping. Like, if I come out, like, I got Brandon, like, he can make video. Like, what if one day I just drop a music video? Like, I already have a song written. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't have the balls, like, but I don't know. You don't have to pursue a career in it. That's the answer. What else? What else would be the opposite? Like, I mean, there's like certain realms. There's business. It has to be a different realm. There's business, there's politics, there's entertainment. And those are like pretty much the ones that bounce around. Okay, what if I became a...
politician?
No, I said that. Business, politics, and entertainment. No, there's another one. What if I became a nurse? That would be exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if all of a sudden tomorrow, I'm a nurse. I mean, I guess there's like classes and shit. But like, it's yeah. I guess see between business, politics, and entertainment, you can make those shifts like quickly. Like anything else would be like a lawyer or like a public worker. I mean, it's got to be a cool shift. If I went to being a grocery
Basketball coach.
like, so I need someone to give me a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be a quick shift. Like, if I could get a cashier job tomorrow, that would be a complete shift you would not expect. Maybe
I wouldn't hire you because you're overqualified.
I think I can get hired as a cashier. I really believe in myself. But the thing is, that wouldn't be that cool because, like, I'm talking about what I'm talking about. I'm doing the shift, but it's a shift is something that's not cool at
A
all.
restaurant manager.
Drop it. Ashtray says drop it. I don't know, man. I need to be like pressured. What if you just said fuck it, enlisted in the army? That's a good one. That's a really, really good one. Like, cause you could do that right away. Like, that, dude, that's right there. Entertainment, politics, business, and military. Like, I could get accepted to the military tomorrow, for sure. Damn, dude. That is a good one. Ashtray, that's a good one. Like, that would be also honorable. Like, I mentioned the cashier thing, and that's not as honorable because it's like, whatever. But the military has a lot of honor to it. And I could, like Pat Tillman from the NFL. I didn't remember him. He was a safety for the Cardinals or maybe a linebacker. And he quit. And he went to enlist in the military, and that was fucking ballsy. Then he got killed, which is like a friendly fire. Yeah, that was like a story back in like the George Bush days or something. But and people respect him and remember him for that. To bring this back to the only point in life is to try to be remembered for as long as possible after you die game, which is the only game, I think, literally the only game. And like, it's not an easy game. Like, if I ran out into Times Square with a machine gun and killed everyone, like, I would be remembered, but like, not for that long. You know, you can't. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. Like, it's not that easy. You can't just like do something. Like, it's hard. It's hard because there's a lot of people and there's a lot of things and there's not that much stored brain space on Earth.
But when we were talking about people who are remembered, like famous in history, like Genghis Khan, Washington, all those other people, it sounds like you got to kill people to become famous, to remember people. Like Napoleon Hill, Alexander the Great.
Napoleon Hill? That's the guy who wrote Thinking Growing
I mean, yeah, you know who I'm on.
Well, no, it's not necessarily the fact that they killed people. It was the fact that they led governments of...
They took over cultures that they had to write about.
Yeah, they were... I don't know if the word is military or political, but both. They were both. They were military and political. And they helped shape the world as it is today, which is why they're remembered. Like, George Washington will always be remembered as long as America exists. Like, what they did was fucking ballsy, dude. They started a country underneath the most powerful British military, and they did it, and it was a huge fucking success. Oh my God. I'd love to be the guy that could bring George Washington back from the dead and to explain to him what America is today and show him around. Like, I think I should have that job because I would pitch it. I would just make him feel so proud of himself for what he did. And someone could do something just as miraculous and just as difficult, but if it doesn't have as big of an impact, you're not going to be remembered. That's why impacting lives. And how do you impact lives? I mean, politics is a way to be remembered. Like, I think Trump's ego wants him to be remembered. So he's very successful in business. He puts his names on all these buildings, so he'll be remembered. He's playing that game better than anyone in the world right now. The game of being remembered as long as you can after you die. Donald Trump's playing that game better than anyone in the world right now. Because also, our country makes a point to remember who the presidents are. I memorized all the presidents, all 45 of them, I memorized them. And I did it for fun. And that, if you're one of those people, you're going to be remembered forever. So like I said, if you're a local congressman, if you're a local mayor, like you can get a bridge named after you, and that's going to last pretty long, longer that you're doing good in the game. But damn, Trump is going to like fucking win that game, man. And then eventually, here's the thing. If you ever look back and see the presidents of Rome or the leaders of Rome, we have 45 presidents. They were getting into like the 200s, 300s. Eventually, there's going to be like 500 presidents, assuming a little bit that America will exist and the future will exist. At that point, no one's going to remember Zachary Taylor, or no one's going to remember William Howard Taft. Then you're playing the game of being remembered as one of the 500 U.S. presidents, but only like 40, 50, 60 of them will be remembered. And like then you gotta, it's the longer time goes on, the harder the game is. But George Washington will always win that game because he was first. So it's a hard game, man. Jesus is the ultimate winner of the game. Jesus, Cleopatra, Alexander the Great. Who's the oldest person you know? Jesus, Alexander the Great was before Jesus. Cleopatra was before Jesus.
Socrates?
Socrates was, I always get Socrates and Aristotle confused.
Yeah.
But they were early, yeah. Like, they're the winners of the game so far because they've been remembered the longest.
Just how they do.
No more blue moons for today. Team USA, baby. Best resolution. And Mario. We talk about Mario. Pat Tillman's idolized at Arizona State. So exactly. So remember we were saying that this game, one place is like your family, and that's like going to help for a little bit. But then if you can also get your local community, and then if you could find some type of community that you know is going to exist for a long time in the future and hook up with them, like a college or a business. And business is harder because there's a better chance that a business will die than a college, but you got to link up with something that's going to exist and associate with it, like a country. Or, so it's a hard-ass game. It's such a hard game. Imagine how many people lost the game already because we don't know who they are. There was probably some dude in 1128 in France who was a fucking beast. And for 400 years, up until the 1600s in France, this guy was remembered. Now he's forgotten. That guy did really, really good at the game. But he's out. He's lost by now. Jesus is still beating him. Or invent something revolutionary, definitely. Assuming that you name it right, Who invented the spoon? Jim Spoon? If it was Jim Spoon, then he's doing good in the game.
If you were to ask a 12-year-old who's a more famous American, you think between George Washington and Kanye, who you think they would pick?
A 12-year-old?
Yeah.
It depends on the question. It depends on the person. I think they'd say George Washington because they probably recently had American history in school. Who else is great at this game? So far, the winners we got are Cleopatra, Jesus, Alexander the Great,
Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan was actually 1100s. So Jesus got 1,000 years on him.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's got 1,000 years on him. Marcus Aurelius.
The Egyptians? The pharaohs?
That's why I said Cleopatra.
Okay.
Cleopatra was an ancient Egyptian. And that's why she's in the game. Because that shit was like BC, real BC. 500, 600 BC. Maybe even more. So Cleopatra is actually beating Jesus. And so Alexander the Great was right around there. Adam and Eve. See, the thing about Adam and Eve is
they're the first people.
Is I just don't know about the whole molesting your sister thing. Just throws me off. Well, no, their kids had to have sex for us to exist. I'm not convinced that Adam and Eve are real people. I'm convinced that Jesus Christ was a real person. I'm not 1,000,000% sure, but I believe that he was a real person, an actual human being on this planet, for real. Adam and Eve, I'm not so sure if they actually existed because the story's crazy. And just Adam and Eve, think about it. Think about it.
Is Nico religious?
Nico, Brandon asked if you're religious. Buddha? See, Buddha isn't necessarily, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure if Buddha, Zeus, but is Zeus real? Is Buddha real?
Muhammad was real.
Muhammad was not that even that long ago.
Yeah.
Muhammad was absolutely real. Muhammad was like around the same time as Genghis Khan. This is a fun game. Who's the best at this game? I mean, I don't think Adam and Eve were actually real people. I don't. Moses.
You could have said Greek Orthodox. I don't even know what that means.
He's Greek Orthodox, I believe. Yeah, he's just being generic.
I don't know what Greek Orthodox is.
It's just a religion. I do have some questions, but I love having faith. Sure, yeah. So you're just generic opinions. But was Zeus real? Who's that? Moses. Like, I don't know.
Person part of the seas.
Like there's the Old Testament and the New Testament in the Bible. And I believe that the characters from the Old Testament aren't real, but the characters from the New Testament, although the stories may be embellished, I think the characters potentially were real. And I don't know for sure, but that's my perception of it. And Moses was right, I think, in the middle there somewhere. If he's Old Testament, then I don't believe it's real. Obviously, I don't believe he parted the sea. I don't believe Jesus walked on water. But I do think Jesus was a real person. I don't think Adam and Eve were people. I don't think Noah from Noah's Ark was a real person. I do think Mary Magdalene was a real person. But I could be wrong. I don't know. But we know that Muhammad lived. We know that Genghis Khan lived. We know George Washington lived. We know Alexander the Great lived. We know Cleopatra lived. Those are the true champs, the decided winners. Trump or Biden? I'll vote for Trump. It's funny, I did a politics podcast today for, how long was it? Maybe like an hour and a half? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that like came to my mind during it was I was like, whoa, this is actually kind of like a normal, like we were talking about like boring shit. And I told him at some point, I'm like, dude, you got to stop talking about healthcare because it's boring the fuck out of me.
Any of the companies and stuff, monopolies.
Oh yeah, that's interesting to me. I think that's a very interesting topic. But point being, like, it was like normal political debate. It wasn't like, 2016, like the world's ending and all that stuff. It was actually like a pretty normal shit. Like, I don't think that whatever happens in 2020, whoever wins and whoever riots or whatever, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great. This country is so amazing.
We're going to pin that in like 3 days from now.
What?
So we're going to pin that for 3 days.
Like, as like someone's beating my door down, like... I mean, it would be fun. The one thing I agreed with Joel on, and I've always agreed on this, is like the idea of a revolution or the idea of like a protest is like, come on, that's fun, man. That's fun shit. We all know Pop Smoke lived.
Yeah.
Has there ever been somebody... All right, so people say that Tupac faked his death, right?
Yeah, he's living...
like people say Elvis faked his death. Dude, we were just talking about like a way to be remembered.
Jesus faked his death.
There's... I personally think it might have been more concussion.
People think so.
I mean, there's no way he died and came back to life. But...
if you believe...
like, Jesus could have been a concussion or he could have faked it. Anyway, we don't know. But here's my point. No, like, everyone that they say is still alive, Elvis, Tupac, anyone in this realm, right? Like, yo, what if I actually faked my death? I mean, I'm not famous enough, but like, what if someone actually did that? They fake their death and then they come back. Like, they go away for 3 years. We do the public outcry for them and we're sad. We move on. No one's ever done that. No one's ever done that. That is something that is a wild, wild west of ideas. I think the reasons no one's ever done it is because it's such a dick move. It's such a dick move. But imagine that. No one has ever faked their death for... I think if you were going to fake your death for a publicity stunt, I think the right amount of time to do it would be like 3 or 4 years. Like 3, 4, 5 years. Like 10's too long. Like Tupac is not coming back one day being like, yo, I bought this new album. It's been too long, Elvis is not coming back. Like... But no one's ever done that as far as we know. No one has ever died publicly and then come back. That would be fucking epic, dude. That would be so epic and such an asshole move. Michael Jackson, one of those people. Michael Jackson is still within his window. Michael Jackson, I I don't see him being the personality to do that. I can see like Kanye doing it. Like it has to be somebody who's overly strategic. And like, I don't think Michael Jackson would do it, but imagine, all right, so just imagine this. Tomorrow, front page, stories, Twitter, Instagram, Michael Jackson is what would he do? Maybe he would like, in Central Park in New York City, come out on stage and perform new music, a new album, and Michael Jackson is still alive. He was gone and he was writing music, and he comes out and it's basically the fake death would be like album promotion. Oh my God, that would be so epic and so unnecessarily, ridiculously a dick move. But that's something that's out there that hasn't been done. And you want to be remembered? Maybe if I get famous enough, I can fake my death. Michael Jackson's, the Michael Jackson's friends interviewed was weird. Michael Jackson's a weird guy. Michael Jackson's weird for a few reasons. One, anyone with that level of talent has a weird life. Two, I think his parents gave him that like shit where your like voice doesn't change. Like what is it called? Estrogen or like Michael Jackson's parents like gave him like the shit where like you don't hit puberty.
Get your balls cut off?
Oh, yes. It starts with an O, maybe. Yeah, look it up. But Michael Jackson got that. Castrated. It's not an O. Michael Jackson got castrated because his parents wanted him to keep his golden singing voice. That's like kind of a conspiracy, but it seems to be true. His whole premise was living in an imaginary world, though. You never know. Hey, dude, I promise this. When that person comes back from the dead, everyone's going to hate him so much. And I'll be like, do I think you're a dick? Yes. Do I respect the marketing? Yes. I'll try not to be mad at them. The Bo Selecta tribute thing was great. He went to Islam, didn't he? Awkward one for him, wasn't it? I'm not sure about those, JB. J-Buck music. All I know is you and Michael Jackson should do a song together with your beatboxing and Michael Jackson's moves. Michael Jackson, do you know his music very well? He was before our time.
Yeah.
But he was like the biggest pop star in an era with no YouTube, and you have to have like the media and the big things behind you. That man was talented. Talent will take you far. And most people, like me, don't have talent, so we gotta get by with grit and smarts and learning. And that shit works too. Should get practicing the moonwalk.
Yeah, everyone did that.
Let me try a sec. I can't do it. Alright, yo. I love all you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the stupidest show on all of Instagram. I just had a job interview. Then I had a podcast. Right in a dream go rich. I don't even have to do this shit. I just do it. So, one, I can entertain you guys a little bit. Two, I can have a hologram that will accurately represent me in the future so that I can live on forever. And I love you guys so much. Dimitri, you're the winner. Dimitri's the winner. Just because he needs this beer to be able to tell his boss on Monday that I love you, but I'm out. Peace and love.